They say silence speaks louder than words, and in the world of attraction, that silence, when used right, can be absolutely magnetic. You've probably been told that communication is key, that you should express your interest, be clear with your intentions, and never leave someone guessing. But here's a reality most people aren't ready to accept. Texting her first might be the one thing that's pushing her further away from you. It feels harmless, even polite. But when you're always the one initiating, what you're really doing is telling her, I'm always here. I'll always chase. I'll always be available. And once she feels that certainty, once she knows you'll always reach out first, something shifts. See, the truth is, attraction thrives in mystery. It doesn't bloom in certainty. And when you remove all the mystery by constantly making the first move, you become predictable, safe, too easy. And the harsh reality? Women don't chase easy. They chase value. They chase challenge. They chase what feels like it could slip away if they don't act. And that's exactly why not texting her first is so powerful. When you pull back, when you give space, you create an emotional vacuum. A moment where she starts to think, why hasn't he texted? Is he losing interest? Did I say something wrong? And in that space, in that little pocket of uncertainty, she becomes curious. And curiosity is the seed of desire. But here's the important part. This isn't about manipulation. It's about recalibrating the energy. Most guys overgive in the early stages. They reach out constantly, validate too soon, and try to keep the connection alive through sheer effort. But relationships don't grow through effort alone. They grow through balance, through tension, through the dance of mutual desire. And if you're always the one texting first, you're not dancing. You're dragging. Now let me tell you a story. There was a guy, let's call him Eric, mid-30s, confident, successful, well-spoken. He meets this woman at a dinner party. They hit it off. They exchange numbers. And like most guys, Eric does what he thinks is right. He texts her the next day. She responds. The conversation goes well. He texts again the day after, and again, and slowly. She starts responding slower, with shorter replies, less emojis, less excitement. Eventually, nothing. He asks himself, what did I do wrong? But the better question would have been, what didn't I do? He didn't allow the tension to build. He didn't give her the space to wonder, to think about him, to miss him, and that's where he lost. Now, contrast that with someone who understands the psychology behind attraction. He meets a woman, he makes a great impression, they exchange numbers, but he doesn't chase. He doesn't rush to prove anything. He's not cold or rude, he's just composed. When she texts, he replies warmly, but he doesn't overextend. He doesn't follow up when she doesn't reply right away, and slowly, she starts reaching out first, because when someone feels like they might lose access to something valuable, they lean in. This is what you have to understand. Being unavailable doesn't mean ignoring her. It doesn't mean playing games. It means having a life that's already full, a purpose that consumes you, a mission that makes you unavailable by default, because when your energy isn't desperate or needy, when you're genuinely centered and self-sufficient, she can feel it, and that's what draws her in. When you don't text her first, it sends a subtle message. I'm not chasing you. I'm inviting you to meet me. It sets the tone. It filters out the ones who are only half interested to begin with, and it attracts the ones who are truly curious about who you are. This is especially true in today's world, where texting has become a constant stream of dopamine hits. Everyone is over-communicating. Everyone is trying to prove themselves. The one who steps back, the one who stays composed, that person stands out. So let me say this clearly. If you want to be unforgettable, stop trying to be constantly visible. Let your absence do the talking. Let her feel what it's like when you're not there. And if she never reaches out, that's your answer. But if she does, now the dynamic has changed. Now she's invested. Now she's curious. And that's when things start to shift in your favor. This is the art of being high value. It's not about being cold or arrogant. It's about not needing validation. It's about knowing your worth and letting her step into your world, not begging to be part of hers. When you hold that posture, when your silence is rooted in strength, not insecurity, it becomes magnetic. So the next time you're tempted to text her first, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly want to connect, or because I'm afraid she'll forget me if I don't? If it's the second one, don't do it. Let her wonder, let her miss you, let her be the one who reaches out. Because when you act like a man who doesn't need to chase, you become the man she wants to chase. And that's the game. Now let's talk about why never text her first isn't just a tactic, it's a mindset shift. When you constantly initiate, when you're the one always reaching out, you're signaling something deeper without realizing it. You're telling her that your world revolves around her, and for a while that might feel romantic. It might feel like effort, but soon it starts to become pressure. It starts to feel predictable. It's human nature. We don't chase what's already guaranteed. The moment you stop texting first, you interrupt the pattern. You inject a pause into the story she thinks she already figured out. Suddenly, you're not that easy to read. You're not always available. And in a world where attention is cheap and people are always one swipe away, scarcity matters. It makes her stop and think, wait, why isn't he texting me first anymore? That question, that moment of uncertainty, creates space for her to reflect on your value. You're no longer the guy sitting by the phone waiting for her name to pop up. You're living, you're working on yourself. You're not punishing her or playing a game, you're respecting your time. And paradoxically, that's what draws people in. That's what rebalances the power dynamic. People feel energy. If your energy is needy, even masked behind friendly emojis and good morning texts, it shows. But if your energy is calm, secure, unbothered, she feels that too. And guess which one builds attraction? The truth is, when you text her first every time, she doesn't get a chance to miss you. There's no suspense, no space to crave you. But when you back off a little, when you let her come to you, she starts to wonder what you're up to. She starts checking her phone more than she admits. She talks to her friends about you. That's when the magic happens. Not because you're being manipulative, but because you're finally allowing her to invest. Relationships thrive on mutual investment, and that means letting her take initiative too. Letting her wonder about you, letting her miss you. This isn't about ghosting or being cold, it's about balance. And if she doesn't reach out when you stop texting first, that's your answer too. It hurts, but it's real. It shows you who's genuinely interested and who was only there for the chase. And wouldn't you rather know now than waste time on someone who was never fully in? When you shift your mindset like this, you stop chasing and start attracting. You move differently. You text with intention, not out of habit or fear. And that changes everything. You become the kind of person who chooses connection, not someone who clings to it. So remember this. Walking away from constant texting isn't about punishment, it's about presence. When you stop handing out your energy to someone who isn't meeting you halfway, you start reclaiming your worth. And that quiet confidence, it speaks louder than any message you could ever send.